Sairam children, I welcome you all again in computer science class. Children, in the last part we have started chapter number 4, insight into program execution. In the very first part we have discussed about the conversion from source code to the object code. Now what is source code? Source code is a code written by a programmer. Who is programmer? Programmer is the one who is writing code with the help of any computer language. Okay, now we have to convert source code to the object code. What is the need of conversion? Because source code is written in a English language with the numeric characters, so that is not understandable by the computer. So we have to convert that particular source code into a understandable form of computer, that is binary code, because computer only understand the binary code, only the language of 0 and 1. Binary code is also known as machine code, object code. Okay, now today's topic is about understanding translation process. So in the last part we have end the video at the concept of the translation process only. We are having mainly two types of translation process. One is compiler and second is interpreter. But in the last part we have discussed three: assembly, compiler and translator. So we are going to discuss about all these translators in brief. How actually our source code is going to convert into object code, and how many steps are there between the conversion from the source code to the object code. So let's start with the compilation process. Okay, now first of all we need to understand what is compiler actually. Okay, now it is a part of system software. It is mainly a language processor. So compiler is a part of system software. So we have discussed now what is system software, what is hardware, what is application software. Now we can move forward in this chapter that compiler is a part of system software. It is mainly a language processor. Language processor means it converts source code to the object code. So language is converted. Okay, now for every language we have different compiler, children. So like if we are working in C, so for that different compiler is there. If we are working in C++, different compiler is there. Python, Java, for every language we are having different compiler. Like we have discussed one example about that translator who knows only English and Chinese. So it is not necessary the person who knows English and Chinese he should know each and every language of world. So in the same manner, if we are working in a particular software, particular language, so that compiler belongs to that language only. It is not necessary we are going to use the same compiler for this other languages also. Okay, so let's move forward. Now see children, in the compilation process, see, if we are talking about the compilation or interpretation process, all these steps are same but little bit different. So we are going to talk about that difference little bit later. So let's see how many steps are there in the compilation process. So in the compilation process we are having pre-processing, we are having compilation. So in compilation we are having two-step: analysis and synthesis. Then third step is assembly and fourth is linking. So let's discuss one by one about each of them. Pre-processing, let's start with pre-processing. Now actually children, try to understand what is the need of pre-processing. Like children, first of all your code come in this phase only, pre-processing. After writing the code, programmer think that our code is complete, but it is not complete, children, at all. We need to check many things before sending to the compilation phase. What kind of things we need to check? Whether, see, in C++ header files are there. In Python we are having modules. If in a program we are using modules like math, random, and in C++ you are using any special mathematical function like then we are having square root, so you need to write header files. So if you are using special inbuilt libraries for that, for that you need that libraries import in that program. So that importation of header files and libraries inside the program is done in the pre-processing phase, because you have only written the code. Okay, so that importing of the module function inside the program is done in this phase only, in pre-processing phase. After that only your program going to be complete. Okay, now it remove the comments also. Now comments, what are comments? Comments are the special lines we enter for understanding the other person. Okay, we are doing explanation of our program, so that comment is going to be removed in this phase only. Now it expand the macros and header files. In this we have already discussed about that, children. Now our program is complete now in pre-processing phase. After that our program is going to be sent in the compilation phase. For compilation, now what is the exact meaning of compilation? Try to understand that. Compilation means finding out the errors in that program, because your program has been completed. Now you have to find out the error. Like when you complete your work, you give your notebook to your teacher. So what your teacher do? Check that particular notes for finding out any kind of mistake is there or not. Okay, in the same manner compilation phase is that phase. So in that we are having analysis and synthesis. Analysis is also known as front end process, and synthesis known as back end. Okay, now analysis is depend on the language only. It is a language dependent process. Why? See, again I'm repeating, it simply depend on language, what kind of language you are using. If you're working on C, if you're working on C++, in that way only we are going to analyze that code. See, like in C++, when we talk about C++, if we want to print something we use C out. In Python we are using print. Okay, and in in C you are using printf. So for printing any kind of message, three different words are there. So how you can use same analysis process in the different languages? So it is simply a language dependent. According to the language only analysis is there. Okay, now see, let's take one more example. For loop, we have not started for loop yet, so it is difficult to understand you. See, like in maths we are having formula. Okay, like a plus b whole square, it is a square plus b square plus 2ab. So in the same manner computer is also having different formulas. So if we are working in C++, that formula is going to represent in different manner. In Python it is going to represent in different manner. In C it is going to represent in different manner. So again I'm repeating, if many things, if your writing of code pattern is different, so how you can use a same pattern for analysis? So you have to decide different analysis procedure for finding out the errors. So after that, after checking each and everything at the front hand, what your compilation process do? It generates a symbol table also at the end. So what kind of procedure your compilation process is going to follow? A symbol table is going to be prepared at the end. Now your front end procedure is end up, so it shift to the synthesizes process. Synthesizes process is called the back end. Okay, now analysis work has been completed. Whatever result your analysis procedure gave, that result is going to be behave like a input for your synthesizes process, because your analysis process has complete at that particular point. After that, from that particular point only your synthesizes work go on. Okay, so whatever result you will find out after the analysis process, you have to use that result as an input for the synthesizes process. Getting my point? Okay, now in the synthesizes process, whatever output generate after analysis phase, it behave like an input for the synthesizes phase. Now children, I forget to tell you one thing. In the analysis process, how your compiler used to do analysis by dividing a message. Whatever you are doing analyzation, you have to divide that particular code into small parts. Okay, so when things are in small packet, so it is easy to analyze in a same manner. So now your particular code is scattered because you have divided into smaller parts. Now in the synthesis phase, you have to recollect those scattered parts at one place. Okay, so it also check the errors also. So again, synthesizer process check the errors, whether it is written in correct format or not, like order of the code and everything, it is going to be checked. Now after this analysis and synthesis process, your code is error free. It is ready to convert into the assembly code. Okay, now compilation. After compilation, your code is going to shift into the assembly code. See children, when source code is going to be source code is going to be converted into the object code. So it is not going to directly convert into source code to object code, because source code is in high level language and you have to convert into low level language. So between this conversion, we are having assembly code also. Source code is at your high level language, then it is going to convert into assembly code, then assembly code is going to be converted into the binary code. So your code is error free. Now it is ready to convert into the assembly code. Okay, now you are having third phase, that is assembly code. So this phase is called intermediate code. Means high level language, it has been converted into low level language but not fully converted. Okay, in assembly code, assembler is there which convert assembly code into a binary. Okay, now after that, your last step is there, that is linking. See children, whenever we prepare a software, so in that software only one program is not there, many programs are there. So when we are working on different small program, when we are going to wind up our software, when we are going to pack our software, we have to collect those programs together at one point. So linking is that phase. Okay, so now our high level code is converted into the binary code, but it does not mean our executable file is ready. Still few steps are there, that is linking. So linking is there to collect all the different programs to make one software. Okay, now last step is fifth, one more step is there, loader. Now what is the working of loader here? Loader, our executable file is ready, so its main purpose is to load our executable file into a memory so that it can be executed. Okay, now with this our compilation process is complete. Now children, we are having interpretation process also. Since the interpreter is also a translator software like compiler, its role is to convert source code into the machine code. Okay, though its purpose is the same as compiler, its working is very much different from the compiler. Unlike the compiler, which works with the whole program at all steps, the interpreter focuses on one line of code or one unit of code at a time. The interpreter analyzes one line of code and converts into the object code, adds in required libraries if any, and run it. What? Yes, the first line of code is executed even before the second line code is converted to the object code. So this way the interpreter proceeds with each line of code. Okay, now we are having one picture with us. Let's understand this. See children, this is a compiler work. So this is a code in front of you. Now first, second, third, fourth, five, all line is going to be read by compiler, and all together it is going to be converted into binary. See, this is a working of compiler. Now let's talk about the interpreter. Now we are having five code in the source code. So first line is going to be converted first into binary. If anything is missing, interpreter first fix that. After that, code 2 is going to be convert into binary. Now it try to find out the errors in the second code. If errors are there, fix it. Then third, then fourth. In this way, line by line interpreter works. Okay, I hope you are getting my point. Now, at the end, we are having a short difference between compiler and interpreter. Let's read that. Compiler takes entire program as its input. So, compiler read the whole program at once. Interpreter single line code or single instruction as its input. It generate intermediate object code from the whole program. It do not generate any intermediate object code. Require more memory during compilation, require less memory during the interpretation. Why? Because compiler taking whole program as together, so if in between any error is there, the compiler has to go back to fix that, but interpreter work line by line. If any error is there, it fix that, after that it move forward. Okay, so it uses less memory space. Display list of error of entire program with line and errors in that line. So all together errors come in front of that. Now with every single line you are able to find a error, so easy to fix it. No, once the role of compiler is over, a compiler is no longer required to run the executable file. In interpreter, always require interpreter translate and runs one instruction every time, so it always required in memory to run the code. So compiler do at one time work, so at the whole program we don't require compiler fully. Okay, compilation once done stays always. Recommend compilation not required if the code needs to run again. The same executable can rerun without the compiler. In interpretation, is required each time you have to run the code. Interpreter does not create executable, and has it is required every time the code is to be run. So I hope with this you are able to understand what is the difference between compiler and interpreter. With this I am ending this video. Thank you so much for attending this class. Very soon we are going to meet in the part 3 of the same chapter. Sai Ram.